Welcome to one of the most mesmerizing capitals in the entire world. Often called the Paris of the East, Budapest is a city where history and modern energy collide on the banks of the mighty Danube River. This city is not just one place, but a beautiful union of two distinct sides. On one bank, you have Buda, with its rolling hills and ancient royal history. On the other, you have Pest, the vibrant and bustling heart of the city, filled with grand boulevards and a nightlife that never sleeps. In 2026, Budapest is more alive than ever. It is a city of 1,000 lights, famous for its world-class thermal baths, stunning neo-Gothic architecture, and a culinary scene that will leave you wanting more. Whether you are walking across the historic chain bridge or looking out from the white towers of the Fisherman's Bastion, there is a sense of magic here that you cannot find anywhere else in Europe. Underneath these streets lies a hidden world of caves, and above them, the third largest parliament building on the planet dominates the skyline. From its underground Millennium Railway, which was the first of its kind in mainland Europe, to the quirky ruin bars hidden in the old Jewish quarter, this city is a treasure trove of stories waiting to be told. Perched high on Castle Hill, this massive palace complex is the crown jewel of the city's skyline. For over 700 years, it has stood as a symbol of Hungarian power, weathering wars and rebuilding itself time and time again. Today, the castle is a sprawling masterpiece of Gothic and Baroque architecture, connected by cobblestone streets and hidden courtyards that feel like a journey back into the Middle Ages. Walking through the castle district, you can see the scars of history and the beauty of modern restoration. The site houses the National Gallery and the Budapest History Museum, but the real magic is simply wandering the grounds. From the castle walls, you get some of the most breathtaking views of the Danube River and the massive Parliament building across the water. Underneath the castle, there is a mysterious network of caves and tunnels stretching for kilometers, which were once used as a military hospital and even a prison. Up on the surface, the changing of the guards at the Sandor Palace provides a touch of royal ceremony that visitors love to watch. It is a place of quiet dignity, where the wind from the river whispers stories of kings and queens of the past. If you are looking for the most fairy tale location in all of Europe, you have found it. This stunning neo-Romanesque structure looks like it was plucked straight from a storybook or a movie set. Built between 1895 and 1902, its white stone towers and turrets offer a panoramic view of the city that is absolutely unrivaled. The structure is famous for its 7 pointed towers, which represent the 7 Magyar tribes that settled in this land back in the year 895. Even though it looks like a defensive fortress, it was actually built as a decorative terrace to celebrate the 1000th anniversary of the Hungarian state. The name comes from the Guild of Fishermen who were responsible for defending this stretch of the city walls during the Middle Ages. Walking along the balconies feels like stepping into a dream, especially during the golden hour when the sun sets over the river. It is the perfect place to watch the lights of the Parliament building flicker to life. The arches and columns provide a perfect frame for every photo, making it one of the most photographed spots on the entire continent. It is a place where architecture and nature come together to create something truly unforgettable. Right next to the Fisherman's Bastion stands one of the most unique and beautiful houses of worship in all of Europe. Known officially as the Church of Our Lady, this building is better known as Matthias Church, named after the legendary King Matthias the Just, who was married here twice and expanded the church in the 1500s. What makes this church so striking from the outside is its vibrant roof, covered in over 250,000 colorful ceramic tiles. These tiles, made by the famous Zolnay factory, create a bright diamond pattern that glows under the sun, making it look more like a jewel box than a traditional stone cathedral. It is a perfect example of Gothic and Neo-Gothic art, with its tall, slender spire reaching high into the sky. The history inside these walls is just as colorful. This church has seen everything, from the grand coronations of the last Hungarian kings to being converted into a mosque for over 140 years during the Ottoman occupation. Legend says that during a siege in 1686, a wall collapsed to reveal a hidden statue of the Madonna to the praying Ottoman soldiers. An event so surprising, it supposedly led to the city's recapture the very next day. Dominating the bank of the Danube River, this is not just a building. It is a masterpiece of national pride and the largest structure in all of Hungary. The Hungarian Parliament building is a stunning example of neo-Gothic architecture, featuring a symmetrical facade and a magnificent central dome that reaches exactly 96 meters into the sky. This height is no accident. It represents the year 896, when the first Hungarian tribes arrived in this land. The sheer scale of this place is hard to imagine. It took nearly 20 years to build, using 40 million bricks and over 40 kilograms of 23-karat gold for its lavish decorations. Inside, there are 691 rooms and nearly 3 kilometers of red carpet winding through its grand corridors. At its heart lies the 16-sided dome hall, where the Holy Crown of Hungary is kept under constant guard. This crown is over 1,000 years old and is the most sacred object in the nation's history. Even the cooling system was ahead of its time. Back in the day, giant blocks of ice were placed in hidden tunnels to circulate cool air throughout the massive halls. This iconic suspension bridge was the first permanent stone bridge to connect the two sides of the city, finally bringing Buda and Pest together as one. Opened in 1849, it was considered an engineering wonder of the modern world. It is guarded at both ends by two massive stone lions, which, according to local legend, are missing their tongues. Walking across the bridge is a rite of passage for anyone visiting the city. It stretches over the river with grand iron chains that give the structure its famous name and unique look. During the Second World War, the bridge was completely destroyed, leaving only the stone towers standing. However, it was rebuilt and reopened exactly 100 years after its original inauguration, becoming a symbol of the city's resilience and rebirth. At night, the bridge is illuminated by thousands of lights, reflecting beautifully off the dark waters of the Danube. It serves as a physical and symbolic link between the historic hills and the modern center. As you stand in the middle of the walkway, with the wind blowing off the river and the castle towering above you, you can feel the true heartbeat of the city. It remains one of the most romantic and recognizable landmarks in all of Europe. This is the largest church in the city and a true monument to the foundation of the Hungarian nation. St. Stephen's Basilica is named after the first king of Hungary, whose mummified right hand is still kept in a glass case inside as a sacred relic. Like the Parliament building, the dome of this cathedral reaches exactly 96 meters high, representing a perfect balance between the powers of church and state. The exterior is a grand display of neoclassical architecture with two massive bell towers that house the heaviest bell in the country. If you have the energy to climb the 364 steps, or if you prefer to take the elevator, the observation deck around the dome offers a spectacular 360-degree view of the entire city. Inside, the atmosphere is heavy with beauty and history. The walls are lined with over 50 different types of marble, and the ceiling is decorated with intricate mosaics that sparkle under the golden chandeliers. It is also a world-class venue for organ concerts, where the acoustics of the massive dome create a sound that is both powerful and heavenly. Whether you are standing in the wide open square in front of the church or looking up at the majestic altar, the basilica feels like the spiritual anchor of the city center. This is the most iconic and grandest open space in the city, acting as a gateway to the beautiful city park. Hero Square was built in 1896 to celebrate the 1000th anniversary of the Hungarian state. At its center stands the Millennium Monument, a towering pillar topped by a statue of the Archangel Gabriel, holding the Hungarian crown and a double cross. Surrounding the base of the pillar are 7 bronze statues of the original Magyar chieftains who led their people into this land over 11 centuries ago. Behind them, 2 massive semicircular colonnades hold statues of the most important kings, governors, and historical figures who shaped the destiny of the nation. Each figure tells a story of struggle, triumph, and the enduring spirit of the people. The scale of the square is truly breathtaking, flanked on either side by the Museum of Fine Arts and the Palace of Arts. The vast stone floor has witnessed some of the most important political rallies and historical events in the country's modern history. Today, it is a favorite spot for skaters, photographers, and travelers who come to pay their respects at the tomb of the unknown soldier. It is a place where you can feel the weight of 1,000 years of history under your feet, standing in the presence of the heroes who built this country. Located just a short walk from Heroes Square, this is perhaps the most romantic and eclectic building in the entire city. Vajdahunyad Castle looks like something out of a Gothic fantasy, but it has a very surprising history. It was actually built in 1896 as a temporary structure made of wood and cardboard for the Millennial Exhibition. However, the people of the city loved it so much that it was later rebuilt using permanent stone and brick. The castle is a fascinating mix of architectural styles, designed to showcase the different eras of Hungarian history. As you walk through the grounds, you will see Romanesque, Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque elements all blended into one magnificent complex. It even features a replica of a famous castle tower from Transylvania, which adds to its mysterious and ancient atmosphere. One of the most popular spots on the grounds is the mysterious bronze statue of Anonymous, the nameless chronicler who wrote the first history books of the early Magyars. Local legend says that if you touch his pen, you will be blessed with great writing skills or academic success. Surrounded by a peaceful lake that serves as a massive ice rink in the winter and a boating pond in the summer, the castle feels like a quiet escape from the modern world. Often called the Palace of Pools, this is one of the largest and most famous medicinal bath complexes in all of Europe. Built in 1913, the building is a stunning example of neo-Baroque architecture with its bright yellow walls and grand domes that make it look more like a royal residence than a public spa. It is located right in the heart of the city park and is fed by 2 natural thermal springs that reach the surface at temperatures of over 70 degrees Celsius. The complex is massive, featuring 18 different pools, including 10 indoor plunge pools and 3 enormous outdoor pools that are open all year round. Even in the middle of a freezing winter, you can find hundreds of people soaking in the steaming outdoor waters, surrounded by the beautiful architecture and the rising mist. One of the most iconic sights here is the local residents playing chess on floating boards in the warm water, a tradition that has been going on for decades. Beyond the pools, the baths offer a wide range of wellness treatments, from saunas and steam rooms to professional massages. The mineral-rich water is famous for its healing properties, particularly for joints and circulation. Whether you are coming for the health benefits or just to relax in a grand historical setting, this place is the ultimate symbol of the city's unique spa culture. It is a place where time seems to slow down, allowing you to soak in the beauty and the warmth of a tradition that dates back hundreds of years. Rising nearly 140 meters above the Danube River, this limestone hill offers some of the most spectacular and dramatic views of the entire city. It is named after Saint Gerard, a bishop who was famously thrown from these cliffs over 1,000 years ago. Today, the hill is a lush green escape filled with winding pathways, hidden monuments, and a deep sense of history that watches over the capital. At the very top of the hill sits the Citadella, a massive fortress built by the Habsburgs in 1854. While it was originally constructed as a way to intimidate the local population, it now serves as a prime lookout point. Standing tall in front of the fortress is the Liberty statue, a towering bronze figure of a woman holding a palm leaf high above her head. She was erected in 1947 to commemorate the liberation of the country, and she remains a powerful symbol of freedom that can be seen from almost anywhere in the city. As you hike up the slopes, you will discover the unique cave church built inside a natural grotto by Pauline monks in the 1920s. The air inside is cool and still, providing a quiet space for reflection amidst the rugged rock walls. Near the bottom of the hill, the famous Gellert Baths showcase stunning Art Nouveau architecture and beautiful mosaics. Perched at the highest point of the city, this massive fortress is a constant reminder of the complex layers of history that define this region. Built in the mid-19th century by the Habsburg Empire, the Citadella was originally intended as a military stronghold to maintain control over the local population. Its thick stone walls and strategic position made it one of the most imposing structures in the entire country. Today, the fortress has been transformed from a symbol of occupation into one of the most popular tourist destinations in the city. Stretching over 200 meters long, the plateau offers a unique vantage point where you can see the Danube River winding like a ribbon between the hills of Buda and the flat plains of Pest. From here, you can count every bridge in the city and see the grand architecture of the Parliament and the Basilica laid out before you like a miniature model. The area is also home to several historical exhibitions, including a deep bunker from the Second World War that tells the story of the city during its most difficult times. Surrounding the fortress are quiet walking paths and gardens that offer a peaceful retreat from the busy streets below. As the wind sweeps across the hilltop and the city lights begin to sparkle in the evening, the Citadella stands as a silent witness to the past and a guardian of the future. It is the perfect place to truly understand the scale and the beauty of this magnificent capital. Floating in the middle of the Danube River, between the Margit and Arpad bridges, lies this peaceful green oasis. Spanning over 2.5 kilometers long, Margaret Island is the city's favorite escape from the noise and traffic of the urban center. It is a place where the air is fresh, the paths are lined with ancient trees, and the history is as rich as the gardens are beautiful. The island is named after Saint Margaret, a princess from the 13th century who lived in a Dominican convent here. You can still wander through the atmospheric stone ruins of that very cloister today. One of the most popular attractions is the massive musical fountain, which is one of the largest in Europe. Throughout the day, it performs synchronized water shows set to classical and modern music, with the water dancing several stories into the air. For those who love nature and relaxation, the island offers a stunning Japanese garden, a small zoo, and several thermal swimming pools. There is also a famous running track that circles the entire perimeter of the island, offering athletes a beautiful view of the river as they exercise. Whether you are climbing the historic octagonal water tower or simply picnicking under a giant oak tree, the island feels like a different world altogether. It is the green heart of the city, where locals and travelers alike come to recharge their spirits. Often called the Green Bridge because of its distinctive color, this is the shortest and arguably the most charming bridge in the city center. The Liberty Bridge was built between 1894 and 1896 as part of the Grand Millennium celebrations. It was opened by Emperor Franz Joseph himself, who symbolically hammered a solid silver rivet into the iron structure to mark its completion. The bridge is a masterpiece of Art Nouveau design, featuring intricate ironwork and 4 tall masts. At the very top of these masts, you will see bronze statues of the Turul, a mythical falcon from Hungarian folklore that is said to have guided the ancient Magyar tribes. The bridge also proudly displays the Hungarian coat of arms on its side, blending national symbols with industrial beauty. During the Second World War, the bridge was blown up by retreating forces, but it holds the honor of being the first bridge in the city to be rebuilt and reopened after the conflict ended. In the summer months, it often becomes a hub of local life. Sometimes the bridge is closed to cars, allowing people to set up picnics, practice yoga, or simply sit on the green iron beams to watch the sunset over the river. Connecting the Great Market Hall on the Pest side with the Gellert Baths on the Buda side, it is more than just a crossing. It is a favorite gathering spot that captures the youthful and resilient spirit of the new Budapest. Named after the beloved Queen Elizabeth, known affectionately as Sissy, this slender white bridge is a striking example of modern design in a city filled with ancient history. It sits at the narrowest point of the Danube in Budapest, spanning just 290 meters. While the other bridges in the city were rebuilt to look like their original versions after the Second World War, the Elizabeth Bridge is unique. The original bridge was an ornate chain structure that was considered a world wonder when it opened in 1903, but it was so badly damaged during the war that it had to be completely redesigned. The bridge we see today was opened in 1964 and features a sleek, minimalist aesthetic that feels almost futuristic against the backdrop of the historic hills. Its pure white cables and elegant pylons create a graceful silhouette that looks particularly beautiful at night when it is bathed in a soft, artistic glow. Because of its modern construction, it is one of the busiest arteries in the city, carrying thousands of people every day between the heart of downtown Pest and the foot of Gellert Hill. At the Buda end of the bridge, you can find a large bronze statue of Queen Elizabeth herself tucked away in a quiet garden.